Ryan Hawley had seen many strange things during his years as a human soldier, but nothing prepared him for the trouble that walked into the mining outpost on planet Vesper 9. The trouble was small, fast, sharp-tongued, and had glowing blue eyes. Name was Lyraya. She was an alien girl from a proud warrior species, rescued from a rebel base during a recent mission. The humans brought her here for safety, but safety was the last thing she cared about. Lyraya behaved like the entire camp belonged to her. Ryan was the officer responsible for her group. He was patient, calm, and known for his discipline. But Lyraya quickly became the one assignment he wished he could return to the commander with a receipt. On her first day, she stole a multi-tool from the engineers. On the second day, she climbed to the roof of the storage tower and jumped off just to see if the humans would panic. On the third day, she pushed a guard into a water tank because he was standing in her way. And every time Ryan confronted her, she answered with the same cold words. Humans are weak. You cannot control me. Ryan never showed anger. He would simply fold his arms and look at her with steady eyes. Lyraya, he would say, this place is dangerous. You will follow the rules. She would smirk proudly and walk away, but on the seventh day, everything changed. The accident had started as a normal morning. The miners were preparing the power generators. Ryan was checking the supply list. Lyraya, as usual, was missing. Suddenly, a loud alarm screamed across the outpost. Warning! Reactor room breach detected. Ryan's heart jumped. That area was restricted. Even soldiers needed permission to enter. He grabbed his rifle and ran across the metal walkway. When he reached the door, he froze. The door was open, and inside, the room, standing proudly next to a glowing console that was absolutely not supposed to be touched, was Lyraya. She had hotwired the generator. Sparks flew. The machine hummed dangerously. One wrong move and half the camp could explode. Ryan's voice dropped into a cold whisper. Lyraya, what are you doing? She didn't even look guilty. I wanted to see how it works. You could kill everyone in this outpost. She shrugged. It will not explode. I know machines better than your engineers. But Ryan could see her mistake. One cable had been connected incorrectly, and the energy was rising fast. He dashed forward, grabbed the main switch, and forced the power down. The generator crashed into silence. For a moment, everything was still. Then Ryan turned and looked at her. Not angry, not shouting, just cold, controlled disappointment. And for the first time, Lyraya's smile faded. What you did today, Ryan said slowly, was not mischief. It was dangerous. Very dangerous. Lyraya took a step back. She had never heard his voice like that. The confrontation. Ryan walked toward her, steady and confident. His boots echoed on the metal floor. Lyraya tried to look brave, but her fingers trembled lightly. He stopped in front of her and stared straight into her glowing eyes. You think humans are weak, he said. You think we have no control. But listen carefully, Lyraya. You crossed a line. She swallowed. The entire camp began gathering outside the doorway, whispering. Everyone wanted to see what Ryan would do. Even the commander watched from a distance. No one had ever managed to discipline Lyraya. She treated everyone like servants. But this time she had gone too far. Ryan didn't raise his voice. He didn't threaten her. He simply spoke with calm authority. You almost destroyed the outpost. You put lives in danger. That means I must teach you discipline. Lyraya stepped back again. You cannot, she said, though her voice was softer now. Ryan leaned closer, speaking quietly but firmly. Try me. The words froze her. No human had ever challenged her. Most were afraid or confused by her strange behavior. But Ryan was not afraid. Not even a little. He straightened his posture. From this moment, you will follow my rules. You will obey orders. And if you misbehave again, there will be consequences. Lyraya blinked, shocked. Her species respected strength, but she had never expected a human to show any. "You cannot tell me what to do," she whispered. Ryan raised an eyebrow. "Watch me." The crowd outside went silent at the hook moment. Ryan grabbed Lyria gently but firmly by the arm. "We're going to talk privately. You will learn discipline today." Everyone watched as he led her out of the reactor room, not with fear or force, but with steady, unshakable authority. She didn't resist. She looked confused, almost curious, the camp whispered. He finally took control. No one ever managed to handle her. This will be interesting. Lyria glanced at Ryan, her face mixed with anger, fear, and something else, respect. She had misjudged him. This human was different. This human could not be pushed. This human might be stronger than she was. And for the first time since arriving on the outpost, Lyria felt something she had never expected to feel around a human. She felt nervous. The walk from the reactor room to the small training hall felt longer than any journey Lyria had taken. Ryan didn't drag her, didn't shout, didn't show anger. He simply walked with calm confidence, holding her wrist lightly, not harsh, but firm enough that she knew resisting was pointless. For the first time in her life, Lyria followed without a fight. The door closed behind them. The hall was silent. Only the soft lights hummed above. Ryan finally released her wrist. Lyria stepped back as if the air itself had burned her. She crossed her arms fast, trying to look brave again. "You brought me here to punish me?" she asked, voice sharp but hiding unease. Ryan did not answer right away. He simply stood in front of her, tall, steady, unmoving. "No," he said. "I brought you here to teach you something your clan never taught you." Lyria lifted her chin. "And what is that?" Ryan's eyes hardened. Self-control. "The vigil lesson begins." Lyria expected shouting, threats, or anger, the things rebel commanders used on her. But Ryan used none of those. He walked to the center of the room, stood with perfect military posture, and tapped the floor. "Stand here." Lyria blinked. "Why?" "Because I told you to." Something inside her twisted. This human was giving orders like a clan leader, but calmly, confidently, without fear. For a moment she considered refusing, but her legs moved on their own. She stepped forward and stood where he pointed. It surprised even her. Ryan circled around her once, slow and observing, not like a predator, but like a teacher studying a difficult student. "You are smart," he said. "Stronger than most humans, quick, skilled with machines. But you behave like a child who wants attention." Lyria stiffened. "I do not." "You do," Ryan replied simply. "And it nearly killed people today." Those words hit her harder than any blow. For the first time she looked away. Facing herself, Ryan stepped closer, so she had to look at him. His voice lowered. "You think mischief makes you powerful. But real strength is choosing control when you want chaos." Lyria felt her chest tighten. She was always told she was wild, unruly, born for trouble. No one ever explained anything gently. No one ever spoke to her like this. Ryan continued, "I am not here to hurt you. I am here to guide you. Discipline is not punishment, it is protection." He tapped her forehead lightly with his finger. "Protection from your own bad decisions." For a moment, Lyria had no answer. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. She hated how his calm voice cut through her like a blade. She hated that he was right. The test. Ryan stepped back and pointed at the metal rod stand on the wall. "Pick up the short staff." Lyria narrowed her eyes. "You want to fight me?" "No," Ryan said. "I want to see if you can follow a simple instruction without turning it into drama." Her cheeks heated. She grabbed the staff and returned, but her grip was too tight, her posture too defensive. Ryan smiled slightly. "Put your arms down." Relax. She didn't understand how to relax, but she tried. It looked awkward. Ryan didn't laugh. He simply corrected her shoulders with gentle hands, straightening her posture, Her heart jumped. No one had ever touched her in a calm, guiding way before. He stepped back. Now strike the air 3 times. Slow. Controlled. Lariah slashed the air. Too fast, too wild. Ryan shook his head. That is not control. That is aggression. Same thing, she muttered. Not even close. He walked behind her and gently repositioned her elbows. Again, he said, but follow my pace. He moved his arms slowly in a controlled motion. She copied him, badly at first. He corrected her. She tried again. After several attempts, she finally matched the rhythm. Her breathing slowed. Her shoulders relaxed. For the first time since she arrived, Lariah looked calm. Ryan nodded. Good, this is discipline. Lariah looked down at her hands. It feels strange. It feels right, Ryan said. Breaking the wall, the training continued. Slow movements. Balance exercises, breathing control. Lariah found it frustrating, but also grounding. For once, she wasn't causing chaos or running wild. She was learning something real. And Ryan never raised his voice. Not once. Halfway through, she stopped suddenly. Why are you doing this? She demanded. Because, Ryan said, I see potential in you, and I won't let you waste it. Lariah stared at him. No one had ever said something like that to her. Not her clan. Not the rebels. Not anyone. The walls around her heart cracked a little. The turning point. Ryan took the staff from her hands. You misbehaved, he said. You endangered others. That needed correction. But it does not mean you are bad. It means you need guidance. He tapped her shoulder gently. And I am not afraid to give it. Lariah felt heat rush through her chest. Confusion mixed with respect. She lowered her eyes. I never had someone teach me like this. Ryan smiled softly. Then today is your first real lesson. She didn't speak again, but when the training ended and Ryan said, we're done, she didn't run away or argue. She simply followed him out of the hall, quietly, thoughtfully, and everyone outside noticed something new. Lariah wasn't walking with her usual arrogant swagger. For the first time since arriving on Vesper 9, she walked beside Ryan as if he was someone worthy of respect. The next morning, the entire outpost felt different, quieter, calmer, like a storm had passed and left clean air behind. No alarms were ringing. No guards were running around shouting, "Where is that alien girl?" For the first time in 7 long days, Lariah caused no trouble. Ryan noticed it immediately. He stepped out of the command tent and saw her sitting on a metal crate, silently watching the sunrise over the red mountains of Vesper 9. She wasn't climbing anything, breaking anything, or teasing anyone. She was just sitting. It was so unusual that one soldier whispered, "Is she sick?" Another replied, "No. I think she got disciplined yesterday." Ryan ignored them. He simply walked toward her. Lariah spotted him but didn't run away like before. Instead, she jumped down from the crate and stood posture straight, hands behind her back, like she was trying to look official. Ryan raised one eyebrow. "Morning, Lariah," she nodded. "Morning, sir." That "sir" nearly made him laugh. She had never used that word before. Something inside her had shifted. A strange new behavior during breakfast time. Lariah didn't push anyone, didn't cut the line, didn't steal extra portions. She stood behind the humans, silent, waiting for her turn. It shocked the entire hall. A young engineer whispered, "She's behaving?" Her friend gasped dramatically, "Should we celebrate?" Ryan watched her quietly. Lariah ate her meal with slow, controlled movements, copying the discipline training Ryan had shown her. Every action was careful, measured, deliberate. But whenever she thought he wasn't looking, her eyes drifted toward him, observing him the way a student watches a teacher they don't fully understand yet. There was confusion in those glowing blue eyes. Confusion and curiosity. Following him everywhere. Later in the morning, Ryan went to check the generator room. the one she had almost blown up. He expected another argument, another dramatic moment. Instead, he heard soft footsteps behind him. He turned. Lariah stood there. "What are you doing?" Ryan asked. She shrugged. "Just following." "Why?" She looked confused at her own answer. "I don't know," Ryan sighed. "Fine, but don't touch anything." She nodded quickly, too quickly. "Yes, I won't." As he worked, tightening cables and resetting circuits, Lariah watched silently. But this time, she wasn't planning mischief. She was studying. Carefully, intensely. After a few minutes, she pointed at a damaged cable. "That connection. It's wrong. If you join it like this," she knelt and adjusted it with surprising skill. "The power flow becomes stable." Ryan blinked. "You know generator systems?" She looked away shyly. "My clan taught engineering at a young age. We had to learn technology and combat together. You never mentioned that. You never asked." Her defensive tone returned. For a moment, but Ryan saw something deeper. She didn't know how to talk about her real skills. No one had cared before. "Good work," Ryan said. Lariah froze. Her eyes widened. "Good work?" "Yes." She turned away quickly, pretending she was checking the wall. But Ryan could see the small smile she was trying to hide. "Respect is growing over the next few hours." Lariah helped him carry tools, pass equipment, and even fix a loose panel on the outer wall. She followed his instructions quickly, almost eagerly. Whenever she made a mistake, Ryan corrected her gently. Whenever she did something right, he told her. By noon, even the commander noticed. "Ryan," he whispered, "how did you tame her?" Ryan shook his head. "She's not a wild animal. She just needed structure." The commander snorted. "Well, whatever you did, it's working." Her secret conflict, but inside Lariah's mind, things were not calm at all. She felt something she had never felt before, respect for a human. And it scared her. Her people taught her that humans were weak, slow, soft. But Ryan was not what she expected. He was strong without being cruel. He had authority without fear. He corrected her without hatred. She didn't know how to process these things. Each time she looked at him, she remembered his calm voice in the training hall. "You need discipline. I see potential in you. I won't let you waste." No one had ever said such things to her. No clan leader, no rebel captain, no parent. Just this human. Lariah didn't know whether she liked it or hated it. So she stayed close to him, trying to decide. The night glitched that evening. The outpost lights flickered. The communication antenna made a strange, buzzing noise. Ryan rushed to check the panel. Lariah followed him, again. But when she looked at the blinking display, her face turned pale. She recognized the pattern instantly. It wasn't a broken antenna. It was a signal, a coded message. From her old rebel clan. Ryan leaned in. "What is it?" Lariah didn't answer. Her heart pounded. She touched her stomach, right where the hidden tracking chip was implanted. She never told Ryan. She never told anyone. The rebels were searching for her. And now, they had found the outpost. Her breath quickened. Ryan noticed. Instantly. "Lariah, what's wrong?" She took a shaky step back. Her voice trembled. "Ryan, they're coming for me." Ryan's eyes hardened. "Who's coming?" She whispered. "My clan, the rebels. And if they find me here..." She swallowed hard. "They will kill everyone." The soft buzzing from the antenna continued, steady and cold, like a heartbeat in the darkness. Ryan stared at the blinking lights, trying to understand the pattern. But Lariah already knew. She could feel it deep in her bones, the rhythm of her clan, the sound of her past, the call of the life she had run away from. Her hands shook. Ryan stepped closer, lowering his voice. "Lariah, talk to me." "What is that signal?" She opened her mouth, but no words came out. Shame wrapped around her chest like a tight rope. Ryan gently held her shoulder. "You're safe. Just tell me." Finally, she forced the words out. "It's a tracker signal. My clan placed a device inside my body when I was young. I thought it stopped working, but it didn't." Ryan's jaw clenched. "Hidden tracker? Inside you?" Lariah nodded, her voice breaking. "They are calling me back. And if I don't answer, they will come here." Ryan looked at her long and hard. "Why did you never tell us?" Her eyes filled with guilt. "Because I didn't care before. If they came, they only wanted me. I thought it didn't matter, but now." Her gaze lowered. "If they attack, your people will die because of me." Ryan studied her face. The fear, the regret, the conflict. For the first time since arriving on Vesper 9, Lariah wasn't acting tough. She wasn't mocking or rebelling. She was terrified. The past she hid. Ryan exhaled slowly. "Tell me everything. Right now." Lariah took a breath. "My clan sends children to fight. They train us young. They implant us with trackers so we cannot escape or hide." She paused. "I ran away years ago. I thought I was free. The rebels caught me later, used me, forced me to help them." Her voice cracked. Ryan felt a sharp pain in his chest. Not because of the danger, but because he finally understood the meaning behind her wildness, her anger, her constant testing. She had never lived a life without fear. He placed a hand on her arm. "You're not with them anymore. You don't belong to one." Lariah blinked hard, tears gathering but refusing to fall. "You don't understand. Once they track me, they never stop. They want me back or dead." Ryan's expression hardened. "They won't touch you. How can you protect me?" She whispered. "They have ships, weapons, soldiers." Ryan stepped forward, inches from her face. "Because you're under my command now, and I do not abandon my people." Her breath caught dot in her entire life. No one had ever claimed her as their people. The first sign of fear. Suddenly, the antenna buzz grew louder. Lights flashed red. Ryan turned to the control panel. A signal reply request, a strong one. Lariah backed away, panic rising. "If I don't respond, they'll know I'm here." "Let them know," Ryan said. "We'll be ready." Lariah shook her head violently. "No. You don't understand my clan. If they think someone has taken me, they don't negotiate. They attack, they burn, they kill everyone around me." Her voice cracked as she looked at him. "I don't want you to die because of me." Ryan's eyebrows rose slightly. "That means you care." Lariah froze, as if he had spoken a forbidden truth. "I don't," she began, but Ryan cut her off. "You do. You're changing, Lariah. And that's why you ran to me instead of hiding this." She looked away, unable to deny it. Decision time. The commander entered the room, eyes wide. "We detected 3 rebel ships entering the atmosphere. ETA, 20 minutes. Ryan nodded calmly. "Prepare defense protocol. Be locked down the perimeter." The commander glanced at Lariah with cold suspicion. Is this because of her? Ryan stepped between them. "She's under my protection. Don't question it." Lariah stared at him, shocked. No one had ever defended her before. Not like this, not openly, not against their own commander. Ryan turned to her. "Do you know any weaknesses in their landing strategy?" Lariah wiped her eyes and nodded slowly. "They always land heavy. First, their front ships carry soldiers with plasma shields. But the second wave is weak. That ship holds their energy cores. If we hit that one first, the other ships lose power support." Ryan gave a quick approving nod. "That helps. Good work. Good work." Those 2 words hit her harder than the rebels' training whips ever had. The weight of loyalty. Ryan began giving orders. "Activate ground cannons. Set drone mines. Move all civilians underground." Soldiers ran. Alarms blared. Lariah stood frozen, staring at him. Why are you fighting? For me? She whispered. My own people never fought for me. Ryan stopped in front of her. Because you chose to stand with us yesterday. Because you stopped misbehaving, helped the camp, and showed who you truly are. You're not a rebel. Anymore. He placed a hand on her shoulder. You're one of us now. Lyraya's chest tightened. Her hands trembled. A foreign feeling spread inside her. A warmth she didn't recognize. Belonging. She looked up at him, eyes wet but steady. Then, I will fight with you. Ryan smiled. I knew you'd say that. The final warning, a deep, distant roar, echoed. Across the sky. The ground shook. Lyraya turned toward the clouds. The rebel ships emerged like dark beasts, metal, fire and rage. She whispered, they're here. Ryan grabbed his rifle. Then let's show them who they're dealing with. Lyraya stepped beside him, not behind him. Not hiding. Beside him. Ready. Afraid. But stronger than ever. The sky over Vesper 9 turned black as the rebel ships broke through the clouds. Their engines sent shockwaves rolling across the desert. Dust rose in spirals. The outpost shook like a living creature under a giant's footsteps. Ryan stood on the front defense wall, eyes narrowed, rifle locked. Beside him stood Lyraya. Tense, breathing hard, glowing blue eyes fixed on the approaching ships. She knew those ships. She knew every symbol painted on their hulls, and she knew what her clan did to traitors. She whispered, they won't stop. Not until they take me, or kill everything here. Ryan didn't look at her. We're not dying today, we fight. Lyraya swallowed. Her heart pounded with fear, but also something new. Courage. The first wave hits. The leading ship dropped a glowing pod from its underbelly. It crashed into the sand with a deep boom, splitting open like an insect shell. A dozen rebel soldiers marched out, tall, armored, carrying plasma shields. The humans opened fire. Laser beams shot across the battlefield, bright lines of red and blue. The rebel shields absorbed most of it easily. Ryan spoke into the comms. Hold your positions. Don't panic. The rebels charged. Lyraya stepped forward, gripping a human pulse rifle Ryan had given her. Ryan snapped. Stay behind cover. No, she said, eyes glowing. I know how they fight. Before Ryan could stop her, she slid down the defense ramp and sprinted right into the battlefield. Ryan cursed it under his breath and rushed after her. Lyraya's first and Lyraya moved like lightning, diving, rolling, using the rebel shield's blind angles. Her clan trained children to fight before they learned to read. But she wasn't fighting for her clan now. She was fighting against them. 3 rebels surrounded her. One shouted, Lyraya, return to us. You belong to the clan. Lyraya raised her chin sharply. Her voice rang across the battlefield. I belong to no one. She fired. A clean, precise shot. 1 rebel fell. Another swung a plasma staff. She dodged, slid under it, and kicked his legs out. Ryan arrived just in time to shoot the 3rd rebel off her back. He grabbed her arm. I told you to stay with the squad. She yelled back, and I told you I know how they fight. He almost smiled, the worst timing possible, but he couldn't deny the truth. Side by side, they fought back to back. A perfect, unexpected team. The 2nd wave drops. The 2nd rebel ship opened its belly. A massive energy container glowed inside. A power core. Lyraya gasped. That's the weak one. If they deploy it fully, your defenses will overload. Ryan shouted into the radio. All units, target the 2nd ship. Fire everything. Human cannons, drones, and rifles unleashed a storm of firepower. Explosions lit the air like fireworks. The rebel shields flickered. Lyraya grabbed Ryan's sleeve. Not enough. The shield is strong. We need to bring it down manually. Ryan stared at the giant ship. Manually? She nodded. I can do it. I know where the shield node is. Ryan felt a cold wave pass through him. It's suicide. She met his eyes. You once said I'm part of your people. Let me prove it. Ryan hesitated. Only a moment, then he stepped closer. You're not going alone. The climb under heavy fire, the two of them dashed across the battlefield, dodging blasts and fallen debris. The shield hummed above them, a glowing dome of blue energy. Lariah pointed to a small hatch, halfway up the ship's hull. That's the node access. Open it and the whole shield drops. Ryan lifted her by the waist, boosting her upward as plasma shots cracked beside them. She climbed with incredible speed. Reaching the hatch, she ripped the panel open. Sparks shot out. Inside were bright wires and a pulsing energy crystal. Lariah yelled, "Ryan, cover me!" He stepped ahead, firing nonstop at the rebels trying to reach them. Lariah pulled the wires, rerouted connections, and slammed her fist onto the shutdown core. The shield flickered, glitched, and then collapsed. The second ship's engines faltered. Lights dying, Ryan shouted, "Everyone fire now!" The outpost cannons fired as one. Boom! The second ship exploded mid-air, raining burning metal across the desert. The entire battlefield froze, stunned by what just happened. Ryan looked up at Lariah, still clinging to the ship's hull. "You did it!" he shouted. But her smile faded. "Ryan, look!" The rebel leader arrives. The third ship, the largest, ascended slowly, like a dark god falling from the sky. Its front ramp opened. A tall figure in black armor stepped out. His voice thundered across the battlefield. "Lariah of the Korra. Clan, you betrayed your blood." Lariah slid down and landed beside Ryan, breathing hard. She whispered, "That's Commander Shargan, my clan leader." Ryan raised his rifle. "Let him come." Shargan roared, "Step away from the human. You will return to use now, or die with him." Lariah stepped forward instead. Her voice cut through the smoke. "I am not afraid of you anymore." Shargan's eyes glowed with fury. "So be it." He raised his arm. The rebels charged, hundreds of soldiers storming forward. Ryan stood beside Lariah, ready. She whispered, voice trembling with emotion, "I choose the humans." Ryan steadied his aim. "And the humans choose you." The final battle began. The battlefield shook as Commander Shargan's army charged forward. Hundreds of armored rebels spread across the desert like a dark wave, weapons glowing with deadly blue fire. Ryan tightened his grip on his rifle. Beside him, Lariah stood with her pulse weapon ready, but her hands trembled, not from fear of dying, but from fear of seeing him die. The wind howled. The rebels roared. The humans braced themselves. Ryan glanced at her. "You stay behind." "Me?" Lariah shook her head fiercely. "No, I fight beside you." He almost argued, but something in her eyes stopped him. Determination. Loyalty. Something he had never expected from the girl who once refused every rule. "All right," he whispered. "Beside me." The clash. The first rebel soldier swung a plasma blade at Ryan. Ryan ducked, firing a clean shot to the chest. Another came at Lariah, someone from her old training squad. He shouted, "Traitor!" She blocked his strike, spun, and hit him across the face. "No," she said breathlessly. "I made my choice." Laser fire lit the sky. Explosions shook the sand. Ryan and Lariah fought with perfect rhythm, covering each other like two gears of the same machine. But Shargan's army was too large, too strong, too determined. The rebels pushed forward, step by step, forcing the humans back toward the outpost. "Walls!" the commander yelled. "Fall back! Fall back!" But Ryan refused to move. Lariah refused too. They stood together, surrounded, yet unbroken. Shargan's wrath. Commander Shargan stepped through the smoke with heavy, deliberate steps. His armor glowed dark red. His eyes burned with rage. "Lariah," he growled, "you disgrace our clan. You kneel before a human?" Lariah stepped in front of Ryan, shaking but unyielding. "I kneel to no one." Shargan lifted his plasma spear. You should have died with honor. Instead you stand with prey. Lariah screamed back. I stand with someone who treats me like a person, not a weapon. Shargan's jaw tightened. Then die like a traitor. He hurled the spear, not at Lariah, but at Ryan. The moment that changed everything, the spear flew with deadly speed, humming with lethal energy. Ryan didn't even have time to raise his rifle. Lariah saw the trajectory instantly, her combat instincts screaming, without thinking, without hesitating, without caring about consequences. She jumped. Her body slammed into Ryan, pushing him aside. The spear struck her instead. A burst of blue fire exploded across her chest. Lariah fell to the ground. Ryan froze, the world turning silent around him. Lariah! He shouted, dropping to his knees beside her. She coughed, glowing blood staining her lips. Her fingers traced the wound, shaking. Ryan pulled her into his arms, panic tearing through him. Stay with me. Lariah, look at me. Her eyes fluttered. I protected you, she whispered weakly. Ryan's heart hammered in horror. You shouldn't have. Why would you do that? Lariah's voice was faint but steady. Because you were the first person who ever believed in me. Her eyes softened. And I wanted to protect the person who protected me. Ryan pressed his forehead against hers. You're not dying. Do you hear me? You're not dying. But the wound was critical. Too deep. Too powerful. Shargan laughed cruelly from across the battlefield. Look at you, Lariah. Dying for a human. What a pathetic end. Ryan turned toward him, rage burning like a star. No, Ryan growled. It's your end. Ryan's fury. Ryan gently lowered Lariah to the sand, stood up slowly, and lifted his rifle. But this was not the calm, controlled soldier anymore. This was fury. Pure, unfiltered fury. He fired with deadly precision, every shot hitting its mark. Rebel soldiers fell one by one. He moved like someone who had nothing left to lose, and the humans behind him felt his rage, and joined without hesitation. For Ryan, for Lariah, defend the outpost. The humans surged forward, their courage ignited by Ryan's wrath. Shargan snarled and charged toward him. Lariah's last strength. Lariah forced her eyes open. The world was blurry, shaking, fading. She saw Ryan fighting alone against Shargan, who towered over him with brutal strength. No, she whispered, trying to rise. Her body refused. Her breathing weakened, but her heart, that rebellious, stubborn heart, refused to surrender. She pushed her hand into the sand, dragging herself forward inch by inch. I will not let him kill you. Her vision blurred again. But she saw something the others missed. Shargan charging a final killing strike, and Ryan couldn't dodge in time. The last shot with the last of her strength. Lariah lifted Ryan's dropped pistol lying near her hand. Her finger trembled over the trigger. Her body screamed in pain, but her aim was perfect. Bang! The shot hit Shargan directly in the back. He staggered, shocked. Ryan used the opening, grabbed a metal shard from the ground, and drove it into Shargan's armor. The rebel commander collapsed. The battlefield went silent, and Ryan ran back to Lariah immediately. In his arms, he lifted her into his arms. Her breathing was shallow, her skin cold. Lariah, stay with me. His voice cracked. She smiled weakly. You are safe now. Ryan shook his head violently. You saved my life twice, and I'm not losing you. Not now. Not ever. Her eyes softened, warm, gentle, full of something she had hidden for so long. Ryan, I am not afraid anymore. Her head fell against his chest. Ryan held her tight as medics rushed in. Don't take her from me, he whispered. The battlefield lights reflected in his eyes, and for the first time, the misbehaving girl, the rebel warrior, the runaway, had become someone else entirely. A girl who chose her own destiny with courage. A girl who earned a soldier's respect. A girl who sacrificed everything. For a human she trusted. The battlefield was silent now. Smoke drifted across the sand like slow-moving ghosts. Shattered pieces of rebel armor lay everywhere, glowing faintly in the dying light. But Ryan heard none of it. All he heard was Lyraya's weak breathing and the desperate beat of his own heart. Medics rushed toward them, sliding beside Ryan as he held her gently. "Severe plasma burn," one medic shouted. "We need to take her to Med Bay now." Ryan didn't let go. His hands were shaking, but his voice stayed steady. "You save her," he growled softly, "or you'll answer to me." The medic nodded fast. "Yes, sir. We'll do everything." They lifted Lyraya onto a stretcher. As they carried her away, her hand slipped from Ryan's grasp. He stood frozen until she disappeared behind the medical doors, for the first time since he met her. Ryan felt powerless. Hours of waiting. The Med Bay monitors beeped through the long night. Ryan did not sit, sleep, or move. He stood outside her room like a stone statue carved by war itself. Soldiers came to congratulate him for defeating Shargan. He ignored them. The commander came to congratulate him for saving the outpost. He ignored him too. He only said one thing all night. "How is she?" No one had an answer. Inside the Med Bay, Lyraya drifted in and out of consciousness. Her mind was floating between memory and darkness. She saw flashes of her past, the harsh training, the shouting commanders, the fear of belonging to a clan that treated her like a weapon. Then she saw flashes of her new life, Ryan correcting her posture, Ryan saying "good work," Ryan blocking danger, Ryan carrying her in his arms. Warmth spread through her chest each time his face appeared in her mind. She whispered in the dark, "Don't leave." The moment of light morning came. The Med Bay doors opened quietly. Ryan entered, slow steps, tired eyes. Lyraya lay on the bed, wrapped in bandages, breathing steady, alive. Her eyes fluttered open. When she saw him, she blinked in confusion. "You're here." Ryan stepped closer. "I never left." Lyraya looked down at her hands. "I thought I would die." Ryan shook his head. "You fought like a hero. You saved this entire outpost." She stared at him, voice soft. "I saved you. That was enough." Ryan exhaled, a breath he had been holding for hours. "You scared me," he whispered. I thought you were gone." Lyraya's lips curved into a small, gentle smile. "I don't go away that easily." Her new truth. Ryan sat beside her bed. "Lyraya," he said carefully, "you don't belong to the rebels anymore. You don't belong to fear. You don't belong to your past." He touched the edge of her hand, gentle and respectful. "You belong to yourself, and you chose us." Her eyes softened, filling with emotion she didn't know how to hide anymore. "I didn't just choose humans," she whispered. "I chose you." Ryan froze, not expecting those words, but he didn't pull back. Instead, he said quietly, "And I chose you too." Every step of the way, Lyraya closed her eyes briefly. A tear slid down her cheek, not from pain, but from relief. No one had ever told her she mattered. No one had ever chosen her. Until now. The outpost's reaction. Over the next few days, Lyraya healed slowly. But the outpost had changed completely. Humans who once feared her now brought her food. Engineers asked for her help with machines. Children from the civilian shelter left drawings of her fighting Shargan. One drawing made her laugh, her holding Ryan's hand, both drawn with stick figures. Ryan found her staring at that picture. "Looks accurate," he said with a smirk. Lyraya rolled her eyes gently. "Very funny." But she didn't throw the drawing away. She kept it. A new future when Lyraya was finally strong enough to walk. Ryan took her outside to the cliff overlooking the desert. The sunset painted the sky in gold and violet colors. Lyraya breathed deeply. "It feels peaceful," she said. Ryan nodded. "This planet was chaos when you arrived." She frowned. "Are you blaming me?" Ryan smiled. No, I'm saying you survived the chaos and changed it. Lariah looked at him thoughtfully. What happens now? Ryan crossed his arms. Well, your clan is defeated. You're free. The humans will offer you a place, a real home. Lariah studied his face carefully. And you? What will you do? Ryan stepped closer. I'll be here. Training new recruits. Defending this outpost. Keeping troublemakers in line. Lariah smirked weakly. Like me? Ryan leaned slightly toward her. You're not trouble anymore. Her eyes met his. For once, there was no fear, no anger. No confusion, only trust. The final choice, the wind brushed her hair as she looked out over the desert. Then she turned to Ryan and said simply, I want to stay. With your people. She paused. With you. Ryan's breath caught for a moment, the weight of those words hitting him. Deeper than any battle wound, he placed his hand gently over hers. Then stay, you're welcome here, always. Lariah's heart beat steady and strong. The first time in her life she felt safe. Together, they stood on the cliff as the sun dipped behind the dunes. A human soldier and an alien girl, once enemies, now allies, now something more. A new chapter had begun, not of war, not of running, but of belonging, and the galaxy would soon hear stories about the alien girl who once misbehaved, and the human who taught her strength, discipline, and a new life. The legend of Vesper 9 had only just begun.